Hey guys, welcome to the show. Have a great show here for you today. Don't have any interviews, but have something new I'm going to try out. We have our website up and running at sidequestpodcast.com and have a blog going up there. So we'll put up blog posts and we'll put up posts for the podcast with each episode with show notes where you can get a little more information on who we interview and who we're talking to. But also have a little blog there. So we're going to work on putting some blog posts up. So every once in a while, when I don't have interviews set up, you'll get a little audio essay, if you will, stealing a little bit of an idea from Tim Ferriss. But you'll be able to listen along to the blog post if you don't have time to go read it. It won't be the whole thing because I do want you to read it, but it'll be a general consensus of what the blog post entails. So please go to the website, bookmark it, check us out. It works great on mobile as well. So if you're on a train and want to read, please like us on Facebook at SideQuest Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at SideQuest FM, also on Instagram at SideQuest FM, and we're on Google Plus as well, SideQuest Podcast. And please, I cannot beg you enough, go to iTunes, subscribe to us on iTunes, leave us a review because it helps us move up the ranks, helps more people see who we are, what we're about, and gets more listeners out there. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. This is an essay entitled, I Train for a Purpose. I get asked all the time why I go to the gym. Colleagues at work ask about what I do or why I do it. Friends and family always tell me that I look so good, but when they ask what I do, when I answer, they seem to get this puzzled look on their face. Their brain sort of goes into shock. Sometimes these family members see videos I post with PRs and say things like, "Oh, but Robbie, you're so small, you shouldn't be lifting weight like that." Or I get asked, "Aren't you afraid you will hurt yourself?" Now, I've been working out consistently since the summer of 2012. Before that, I dabbled on and off with weights and exercise regimens, and I would follow them for a while and never really stuck with anything. So why do I grind in the gym with the same routine week after week? Why do I have a goal of pulling a 400-pound deadlift or fighting the urge to get my squat up to 300 pounds? Why in the world would I want to do this week in and week out? The answer to why I train has changed over the last few months. Maybe not so much changed as I sort of realize why I do what I do. And this is what I've come to realize. I train to better myself. By lifting weights in the gym, I'm constantly pushing myself to the next level. Working out not only benefits my ability to live a healthier life, but it has also had an enormous effect on my mind. It has stimulated my desire to learn. It has reignited my drive and directly impacted my cognitive function. The act of lifting weights and adding more weight over time translates more in your life than you know. That desire to push through new boundaries and to unlock unknown planes will translate to your psychological well-being as well. You will find that you do not stress as much, nor do you seem to worry about the non-important aspects of life. It is as if your body and mind begin to work in true tandem so that suddenly, not only are you crushing PRs on the bench, but you find yourself looking at problems or people or situations from different angles and lights. I train to compete against myself. See, I played sports all my life. From the time I was 4 until I was 16, it was soccer in the spring, followed by baseball in the summer, then soccer again in the fall, and basketball in the winter. I was non-stop. However, I was not some jacked kid either. I was plump. Probably because, one, I played goalie in soccer, and my teams were so good the ball rarely made it to my side. 2, I sat on the bench in all of those other sports mentioned above. 3, I was lazy as fuck. Seriously, I was the laziest kid in the world. Sure, I would play basketball in the plastic 6 feet tall kid goal my grandpa bought me. But when it came to running down a court and doing suicides and drills, ugh. Even with the laziness, these sports instilled in me a desire for competition. I love competition. It stimulates what I believe is an ancient feeling of fighting for survival that our species has lost over the years as we've become more settled. I live in a town where I do not know a lot of people, and I do not know of any sports teams I can play that will stimulate my desire for competition. The gym and weights, however, afford me one constant competitor: me. Every day I am there, I'm competing against myself. If I fail, I'm not mad at a teammate, I'm mad at myself. I push myself further. I relish in the glory of triumph. I alone am the person who sets and exceeds or fails at my goals. It is my muscles versus my brain, my body versus my doubt. Now in my life, I'm succeeding at crushing my doubt instead of letting it crush me and leave me on the bench. I train to not die in a zombie apocalypse. No, seriously, do I really need to explain that one? Just think about it. Yes, I know how to shoot a gun. I grew up in the South, and I can run fast. Pretty much it, right? Zombies, running, fast, shooting, done. I train for my wife. Yep, not gonna lie, my first thoughts are, you're damn right I train so she can have a ripped husband with huge muscles she can grab onto in bed, or show off to other chicks and make them feel jealous. Except I've pretty much been told she doesn't care about my muscles because she loves me for me. Blah, blah, blah. I can read through your lies, woman. You want them gains. Don't lie. In all truth, though, I train for my wife for two reasons. One, I train because I have no idea when strength might be needed to save her life. Okay, that does sound kind of chauvinist, I guess, but let's say we were in a car wreck and there was a car on top of her crushing her to death. Well, you better damn well believe I'm going to pick that car up and throw it away like I'm one enraged Bruce Banner. I know the chances of that happening is about as likely as George Lucas apologizing for ruining Star Wars. But you never know. See, I have no idea what life will throw at me, and to be honest, yes, there is a very big male pig-headed part of me that wants to think, if I could not save my wife from some dire trouble, what kind of man or husband would that make me? I train for my wife because she deserves to know that I'm strong enough to fight off a bear, lift a car or a tree off of her, or throw four crazed zombies off of her while she looks at me longingly and then jumps in my arms and tells me, "You're my hero." Yeah, I might have some kind of complex developing here. Number two, I train because she deserves to have me here for the long run. We all know that eating better and exercise can prolong life, so why in the world would I not do it? I said, till death do us part, and I'll be damned if I die from something I could have prevented. Not taking care of myself kind of makes me a selfish dick. Well, more selfish than I already am, but at least I'm trying. I made a promise to her that I would be there through thick and thin. That means that I need to make sure I am healthy and stable and in good working condition, or in my opinion, makes my vow to her as a husband less meaningful. I train because it makes me strong. When I started hitting the gym every day in 2012, my first goal was pretty much vanity. Six pack. Get jacked. Then all the ladies will want your body and you'll get mad ass. Okay, now a few years later, those goals have changed. I got my six pack this spring before my wedding, but now it's gone. And I'm fine with that. For now, all I want is to get stronger and stronger. I want to push more weight from my chest and pull more weight with my back and crush cans with my head. Wait, what? Anyways, I train because I like the feeling of strength. When I was young, I could not do one pull up. I had no upper body strength whatsoever. I was essentially Steve Rogers pre super soldier serum. I had lots of heart and passion, but that doesn't translate to raw force. But now, I'm working on getting my bench up to 225, and then my goal will be to get even stronger on that and someday hit 300. I pulled 350 pounds on a deadlift a couple of weeks ago. My goal is to hit 400 sometime soon. Getting stronger has directly correlated to influencing my confidence. I walk taller, I feel better, and damn if my ass doesn't look good in a pair of jeans or naked. Physical strength, though, has translated to me growing stronger emotionally as well as mentally. Again, it's as if your whole body starts to realize that it can lift the world if asked and your mind follows. Strength breeds strength. I train because I am not mediocre. This one sort of fits in with competing against myself, but I believe it also applies to something different: self progression. I once had a teacher who told me, never strive for mediocrity. Over the years, I've rebelled against that wisdom, and many times mediocrity is all I gave. And in those times, that voice came into my head to tell me I was being mediocre. Now, when I'm in the gym and that feeling comes over me, it happens. I have those days where I'm just going through the motions. They're few and far between, but I have them. But on every lift, on every rep, I keep telling myself, do not be average. You are not mediocre. This thought, like strength, also translates to other portions of my life, which probably explains why I'm not a fan of my day job and want to do something more. I'm not mediocre. My lifts will not be mediocre. I will not be a mediocre husband or friend or son. I will not strive to just be. I will be what I am meant to be and will push myself towards more constantly. I train because it allows me freedom. Training allows me to be a little freer in many aspects of my life. It affords me the ability to not get tired easily, which in turn allows me to enjoy long walks or hikes with my wife or by myself when I need to center my mind. It allows me the ability to eat more food. Yes, eat more food. See, muscle, it exists and needs food for energy because food is energy. I won't go into much detail there. I'll save that for a later post. But again, training allows me the ability to eat more food. And I love food. But training gives my body more freedom. My blood circulates better. My joints and bones do not ache because my frame is carrying too much unneeded weight. My body can focus and deals better with stress. My body moves more freely through the world. And with that freedom comes a confidence that's hard to describe. It allows my mind, my muscles, and all of my personality to work as one. I feel freer to tackle the tasks that matter and to focus energy where it's needed. It's hard to explain this freedom as a concept, but I can say I do not feel as if I'm enslaved to my emotions nor the opinions of others. I train because I like it. This is probably the most straightforward reason as to why I train. But I like it. I like how I feel after training. I like how it makes me feel about multiple aspects of my life. I like the endorphins. I like the challenge. I enjoy the grinding and the daily rewards and challenges. Getting in shape and setting and achieving goals just feels good. And I like to feel good. So I train. I train because it gives me meaning. It seems odd to say that training in the gym with barbells gives me meaning, but it does. I have a pretty boring desk job like many Americans out there. It's not glorious. It doesn't give me any satisfaction besides the paycheck, and in no way whatsoever is it giving back to anyone in a positive manner. Meaning. An arbitrary word, really, if you think about it. We ask people for the meaning of a word or a phrase, yet in so many forms of art or cultural expression, meaning or intent can be interpreted in hundreds of different ways. I watch our society, I watch my friends and those in the world around me, and there's something that sticks out to me about our current situation in the world. Really, you could argue that it's always been this way. It's that we seem to constantly be looking for meaning. I'm not talking about meaning in a religious or spiritual sense. I have this thought that since we settled down from our nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyles thousands of years ago, humanity has been plagued by one thing: meaning. No, change that. Purpose. We have been looking for a reason, a justification for what our purpose is as a species. Our ancient ancestors had one purpose: survival. That's it. Get through the day, dodge this predator, kill this prey, find a safe, soft place to sleep, and then get up and do it all over again. Survival. We as a species have become the top of the food chain. Our brains developed to make us more intelligent and far more cunning than any predator we faced. But we settled into towns and enclaves and tribes. We became complacent. We settled along rivers, which provided water and food. We developed agriculture and built cities. We built walls to protect us from outside fears. And in that complacency, we forgot what true survival meant. Sure, over time we were tested with plagues and natural disasters, but we as a species continued to push on and expand. And we created new meanings and new stories to give us a sense of purpose. Always inside of us, still churning deep in our DNA though, was this need to feel as if we were surviving, as if we were triumphing over nature itself. And that's what training provides for me. It provides me that sense of fighting nature around me and the diseases that could attack me. I am pushing myself to survive from whatever comes my way. It could come from anywhere at any time, and I should be prepared to react in a way that guarantees or at least provides a fighting chance for survival. With our modern, fast-paced, interconnected world, our survival instincts are changing. We do not have to fight for it any longer. It can be delivered to us. It can be served to us. It can be provided to us cheap, efficient, and with no real detriment to our animal survival. So for me, training taps into that ancient DNA, and it allows me to feel as if I'm fighting against nature itself. I'm fighting, and I'm struggling, and I'm telling the world that I will survive. So world, come at me, bro.